Yo, what is up? It's your boy Skylar Game Time Diddy Verts. And we're back with another episode of the Weekend Moneymakers Podcast. Let me just start off by saying me and Jimbo Slice went absolutely crazy last weekend, going 12 for 13. Well, I went 12 for 13. My boy Jimmy didn't believe in old man Miller, you know what I mean? Jim Miller came through. We went crazy on the card, man. Like, we went absolutely dumb, had a party out at the house. And we were up 400 going into the main event. The only one I got wrong, Strickland and Chimaev, man. But hey, it is what it is. It's MMA. You never know. You really never know. But the biggest lock that I took on the whole card, like the biggest favorite on the whole card that I took, obviously is the one that sells us. We should have been up probably. I know Jimbo would have won about 1,100 on the weekend or on the fight night and or fight card, and I would have been up about 800 on the fight card. Um, Honestly, I'm not mad about it. We still went crazy, had a good time, but we made some crazy calls, crazy reads. First off, the round three Susurkayev, that was plus 2,500. That was a huge play. And then the Jim Miller round one, bro. So like we went absolutely nuts. Honestly, we were calling things left and right that I was just super excited to see how crazy we went. But if that don't tell y'all what we doing over here, man, I don't know what to tell you. Today, we talking about the MVP event tomorrow between Ronda Rousey and Carano. And then we got the UFC Fight Night card going on at the same time. You know I'm in on both of them. MMA out here, we just watch it all. Where you got Arnold Allen against Milky Costa, man. First, I'll break down the MVP event for you guys. I will do my favorite picks on that card, and then I got a couple parlays at the end of the video. You make it to the end. I got a couple plays for y'all. So let's start out with the Junior Dos Santos fight. So you got Junior Dos Santos against Rebelis de Spain. Despain has a 7-inch reach advantage, but he wasn't all that great in the UFC. He does have some pretty good hands, but when he's put on his back, that's where he's in trouble. Like, he's not very good on the ground at all. Where on the other hand, you got Dos Santos, which he's 42 years old. Let me just tell y'all, we were in on a 42-year-old underdog last week, and it came through huge, and I'm doing it again. I'm going Junior Dos Santos, man. He's fought the better comp in his whole career. He does have nice boxing. He's probably one of the best heavyweight boxers we've ever seen in the MMA. But he can also mix in the wrestling. If he can get the wrestling going and get Despain on that back foot, just knowing he's going to be attempted to be wrestled at, I think he's in for a long night, man. But at the same time, I do think that 7-inch reach advantage could come in handy when they're on the feet. But as long as Dos Santos can get in close and kind of just nullify that reach advantage, I think he has a good chance of winning by decision, man. Just wrestling it out, grinding it out, and getting it done. So give me Junior Dos Santos by decision. We'll move on to the next fight where we got Paranese versus Cross. Paranese is 52-2. He's won 9 of his last 10. He's using this fight card to really be a stepping stone to get him into the PFL or the UFC. I think he's really good. I think he's one of the better guys in the world right now that's not signed to the UFC, which we could see sometime soon. I would not be surprised whatsoever. But where he likes to really get the job done is getting you to the ground and then ground and pounding your face into the mat. And I think that could definitely happen here. Cross is coming in on a 4-fight win streak, but I do think he's going to be outclassed due to the lack of experience compared to the other guy who's fought 54 fights. And he's not good on the ground, where that's exactly where Paranese is going to want to take him and get it done. So I do like the Paranese KO, ground and pound KO. That's my play for that one. Next, we got Francis Ngannou against Lins. I don't even think I have to tell you guys, like, Francis Ngannou is probably one of the best fighters we've seen in a really long time in the UFC in the heavyweight division. He was 12-2. He was the champ. And then he goes to boxing and he drops Why can I not think a dude's name? He's it's gonna bug me. But one of the best boxers we've ever seen in the UFC or UFC. One of the best boxers we've ever seen. Um, and he dropped him. Like nobody expected him to come in there and even have being able to touch that guy. Um, oh, Fury. Why, dude? It just slipped my mind because I'm talking to y'all. I know that's what it is. But Fury, he's a multiple time heavyweight champ. Nobody's seen Ngannou coming in there and doing him how he's gonna do him, but he dropped him, bro. Like he caught him with a hook and he dropped him. And honestly, I don't think I even have to tell y'all that it's gonna be a knockout here. Ngannou's gonna knock this dude's head off. Um, and yeah, that's I don't even have to stay on this topic long. Now, next we got probably my favorite fight of the whole night. Uh, just for the simple fact that we know it's going to be entertaining. We know there's going to be bombs. We got Nate Diaz versus Mike Perry, man. Never die, Nate Diaz. He's very durable. His wrestling's not as good as it used to be nowadays. Now that he's out of the UFC, obviously not getting in as much training as he used to. Um, but I think something that works in his disadvantage is the fact that he has so much pride in his striking that he's not going to go to where he could get a pretty easy path to victory and getting Perry to the ground and really working him on the ground. Because I think Mike Perry is the type of guy who obviously he wants to box. He, even though he's been out of the UFC for a few years now, he still consistently boxes. Like he's been more active. But something to remember in this fight is it's 5 minute rounds, 3 5 minute rounds, where UFC is 3 minutes. This is a five minute round. Where I think honestly, I'm in on Diaz, man. If he really could get the Stockton slap going, get this dude just a little irritated where he can find his shots, I could definitely see him outpointing him. Perry is, I do believe, the better fighter, but I'm gonna go with my gut feeling here because last week I went with my gut feeling, it came through. This week I'm gonna go with my gut feeling, my gut feeling. Yo, my gut feeling. I'm gonna go with Diaz, man. Give me Never Die Nate, man. And now we'll move. Well, Ronda Rousey. I'm just gonna say it quick. She's gonna get this done. She obviously was calling out Chimaev this week about not being able to finish, and I do believe that the eras that each of these women fought in the UFC, like Ronda Rousey came up in a better era, like better competition, and I do think that gives her the edge. Where you have the other lady who she was coming up when there really was nobody else. You know what I mean? Like she was clearly a champ for the simple fact that, or she was clearly winning as easy as she was in general, just for the simple fact that there was nobody on her level in the UFC at the time. But I don't believe that was the case when Ronda Rousey was out there because she was working with dogs. So I'm going to take Ronda Rousey. I don't know if I want to say she's going to get a sub or if she's going to get a decision. But let's just go with the gut off the top of the dome. I'm going to go Ronda Rousey decision. Because just for the simple fact that she came out and said this week, like, I finish all my fights. There's not a fight I haven't finished. There's always time for that to happen, and this could be it. And you could get in on a pretty decent play on a pretty big favorite on getting a decision instead of finishing. Now, we'll move on to the UFC Fight Night card, man. Coming off of a big event like last week, I obviously had no big expectations for this card for the simple fact of the fighters, but we got a lot of like contenders that are up and coming that we it makes this card interesting for the simple fact that these guys are fighting their way up in the ranks or to get into the ranked division part of the division. And I think these fights mean a lot more. You know what I mean? Than you don't really have any huge favorites against big underdogs. A lot of them are coin flip fights, which is always good for making money. But we'll start with the main card on that, where we got Veretinikov versus Chaos Williams. I don't think that Veretinikov has enough wrestling and ground game to suppress what Chaos is going to want to do. Chaos is nasty on the feet. He has a lot of KO power. He's fought better comp. He's younger. He's longer. He's faster. I think he just has him in all categories. Like I think honestly, the line should be wider than it is on this fight. I know it's sitting at like a minus 280. Um, but I honestly think this fight could be like a 5-1. So if I can get Chaos Williams for the knockout at plus money, I'm going to take it all day. Where we got Chaos, I'm going to take Chaos Williams. Now we'll move on to Kwambo versus Sopaj. Kwambo does have a 5-inch reach advantage, 3 inches in height. He has nice boxing, but he gives up a bunch of takedowns, and he's not the best grappler. Where on the other side with Sopaj, he's a good wrestler. He's pressure heavy. He's fought the better comp. He's wrestling. His wrestling is a clear path for him to where he could keep Kwambo suppressed on that reach advantage, to where he can't really use his only advantage to his strengths. So I think this is the perfect suppressor for Kwambo. I think Sopaj is going to go in here, wrestle, keep him on his back to where he really can't get nothing going. And Sopaj kind of coasts to the decision win. Now, on to the next fight of the night. We got Bukauskas versus Edwards. Bukauskas by no means isn't amazing. Like, he's decent. But on the other side, you have a guy who is making a UFC debut. He's on short notice. He was decent at most in Bellator, and as we all know, those Bellator guys, when they come over to UFC, they're never living up to their hype unless you're a Mazov. Got in on him on the sub 2 last week, so we made the right call there. But I think he honestly, like, when he has a wrestling background, but when he gets to the ground and like he's on his back, he has no clue what to do when he gets down there. Like, he is good at getting the takedown, but he's not good at doing anything with it. Where he also has a pretty glass jaw. And if you have a glass jaw in Bellator, or in UFC, you're gonna have toilet paper tissue jaw. Like, one finger and you're gonna slip through and get mud on your finger, you know what I mean? But honestly, I think Bukauskas could definitely come out here and KO him for that simple fact. I know Bukauskas' chin isn't much better, but I think he has a UFC glass chin compared to Edwards, where he had a Bellator glass chin, where he's getting knocked out by guys who aren't even the best of the best when it comes to striking. So I don't see why Bukauskas couldn't get a KO here, but I think it's heavy on the Bukauskas side either way, whether it be KO or decision. We'll move on to the Wellmaker versus Diaz fight. Diaz, he's 10-1. He has 6 KOs, 2 subs. He's never been finished. He's a nasty striker. He struggles with heavy pressure. That's his issue. He has like first 2-minute KO power. He will probably find some clean shots in this fight for the simple fact that Diaz, he is a high volume guy and he is pressure, where I just said where Wellmaker struggles with heavy pressure. But the thing about Diaz is when he's coming in and he's trying to throw shots, he's throwing them so wildly that he takes shots every time. And I don't think that's a good thing for a guy like him in this fight specifically, for the simple fact that Wellmaker, you let him give you shots, you probably won't get up. You know what I mean? So I'm big on the Wellmaker KO in this one, for the simple fact that I think Diaz will be a little out of control, and Wellmaker's gonna make it count. He's gonna go to the well. Now we'll move on to Choi versus Santos. Choi's only been finished one time. He's the better grappler. He has really good top control, but he is nasty on the feet. Like, he does have good power, so if that's what it is or ends up being, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, he could still do it up there. It's not like he can't do it on the feet. So honestly, I do like Choi in this matchup. He hasn't lost since he's came back from doing his military service that he had to do. He's been on a tear, and I think he's going to continue here. Where on the other side, you got Santos, who is on a 4-fight win streak. He gets a lot of takedowns, but he can't keep anybody down. He was 9 for 16 in a fight, or 9 for 18 in a fight with only 80 seconds of control. That's not really good. Like, you're only getting about 20 seconds every takedown you get, and usually if you're a good grappler wrestler in UFC, you can keep a guy down. It's not all about taking him down, it's keeping him down, for the simple fact that if you can't keep him down and he knows he can pop back up, he's going to be more risky on the feet, because even if you do shoot in and take him down, he's going to be able to work with you and get back to his feet. But I don't think that's the issue for Choi here. For the simple fact that if he does get him to the ground, he is the better grappler. He could flip him over, get top control, and hold him down where Santos couldn't do the same to him. So give me Choi by decision, but if you really want to go make some money off of it, you could go for the Choi KO, man. I know I'm not, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't. You know what I mean? Going into the last fight of the evening, the main event, we got Arnold Allen versus Milky Costa. Well, let's talk about Allen. He's never been finished. He doesn't have the most credible wins, though, and he's 1-3 in his last 4 fights. I don't see like a clear vision in my mind where he could go out there and like, okay, he for sure can out wrestle him, or he can for sure outstrike him, or he could keep him nullified on the ground. I don't see that in this fight. With a guy like Milky Costa, who's dangerous regardless, like he's dangerous anywhere this fight goes, on the ground or on the feet. He's crafty. He's unpredictable. I mean, he's on a good win streak. For him to be the underdog in this matchup, I can't not take him. You know what I mean? Like, this is my favorite fight of the night. I have become more of a Costa fan in the last year or two, for the simple fact that this dude is young. He's dangerous. He's crafty. He's entertaining to watch. Like, so I could really see him getting a KO or a sub. The only way I could see Arnold Allen winning here is by decision. I don't see him outstriking him in KO and Costa, and I also don't see him taking him to the ground and smothering him, because for the simple fact that when they get down there to the ground, he's going to have issues with Milky. So I'm going to be in on Milky Costa. I really like the sub. I like the sub line. I think it's a good play, but you never know. So I will give y'all a couple of the plays that I put in for tomorrow, and then I'll let y'all tell me what you think about it in the comments below. Like and subscribe to the YouTube, man. Weekend Moneymakers Podcast. We streaking out here. I've been on fire since I got the laptop. Not missing a week. Keep going. And let's get into the plays, man. This one, like we were talking about last week, the underdog delight, man. It's a 4-leg parlay. 46-1 odds. And I'm going to take Junior Dos Santos off the MVP. I'm mixing them with this one. I'm taking 2 dogs from the MVP and 2 dogs from the UFC to make me some money. You know what I mean? So we're going to go Junior Dos Santos. We're going to go Choi. We're going to go Milky Costa. Last but not least, we're going to go Nate Diaz. 46-1 odds, man. That sounds like a good play to me for 4 fights that are all pretty close on the line. You got 3 that are 2-1 odds. Well, 1.3-1 odds, 1.04-1 odds, and 1.6-1 odds. And then you got the Junior Dos Santos 2.8-1 odds. I really think this could happen. I really think this play could come through here. I'm going to put it in as my most confident of the weekend. Underdog delight. You know, when you're betting on the underdog, you're already at a disadvantage, but I don't think it's a disadvantage. I think it's time for us to take advantage. You know what I mean? So that's my most confident parlay of the weekend. Now, this one right here, the Method Underdog MVP parlay. I got Dos Santos by points and Nate Diaz by KO. It's up there. Let's just say it's up there. $2 could win you $288, man. That is a play. That is just a little lotto scratch off. 2 things you need to happen. Let's run it. Now, I got a 5-leg parlay that's going to be my favorite picks on the UFC card. A little bit of the undercard, like, tied into the main card. I know I didn't break it down, but I just want y'all to be in the insights to all of it that I'm betting, just so y'all could get in on the money, man. I like Luis Gurul over Perez. I like Petrosky over Cody Brundage. I have on Aslan over Tuco Tokos. Costa, man. That is sitting at 19 to 1 odds. So I like that one. And yeah, that two leg I told y'all is 143 to 1 odds. Yeah. Um, Now for the 6 leg parlay for the main event, for the main card parlay for me, I kind of covered. I did the same two bets with both of the main event outcomes flipped. Chaos Williams, Bukakis, Sopaj, Wellmaker, Choi, Arnold Allen. Now, on the opposite, just so if all my other fights go right into the main event, unlike last weekend, I'm going to have my ass covered. Chaos Williams, Sopaj, Bukowskis, Wellmaker, Choi, Milky, man. That's my one of my favorite plays of the whole weekend. That's the where I put most of my money at. That's 26 to 1 odds. Can't beat it. Now, I have a couple two method of victories for y'all that I really like. We got Kuamba by points, Choi by points, Costa by KO. I'm going to play that same line right there, and instead of Kuamba, I'm going to go Sopaj points. Um, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there, honestly. But I do like I mean it could happen though. That fight could go either way with by points. I don't see anybody getting finished. So maybe just playing the fight to go the distance could be the play in that. I haven't looked into that money, like what the line is. But for my cycle, of the week, we got Jacqueline Cavalcanti by points, Malcolm Wellmaker by KO, and to finish it off, what I said was my favorite play of the whole card, Milky Costa by sub. That is paying you with the 30% profit boost. It's paying you 47.67 to 1 odds. Yeah, and that I like that play, man. Just 3 method of victories, 3 different ways, and 3 different fights. Cycle time to cash it, man. Yeah, and that's really all I got for y'all tonight. It was a short one. We just talked a little bit of combat sports, gave you my favorite plays, and looking to stay hot off of last weekend. We're definitely riding the wave and trying to do it all over again. And that's it for your boy Skyler Game Time, Diddy Verts, and this has been the Weekend Moneymakers podcast. I hope y'all tune in. I hope y'all get in on these bets and we all make money together. Till next time, peace.